Jeff, thank you very much. Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Medford School Superintendent Phil Long. Phil, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get right to it. In the wake of today's tragic shooting in Connecticut, what is the Medford School District doing to keep our kids safe?
Well, you know, the first thing we do is we have to stay focused on what our responsibility is, and that is that our priority is safety first. Then we teach reading, writing, and all that other stuff. We have, for a number of years, had in place procedures to respond when there are intrusions on our campuses or things that happen. And it's about us being vigilant in our training, our practicing. We have monthly drills. And it also is about us not telling people all that we're going to do. So I'm happy to share some general concepts in our conversation, but we have some very specific things that we do. We work closely with the Medford Police Department, and if it's a school out in the county, with the Sheriff's Department. And they practice in our buildings for events like this. And in fact, the Medford Police have an area on one of our campuses where they store training equipment and things.
Wow, I'm glad to hear a lot of that. Thank you. So how rare are school shootings like this?
You know, I'm just going to say within our district, I only can recall one event where a gun was discharged on our campus, and it was about 10 or 12 years ago. It was at North High in a classroom, and it was not an event like today. It was tends to be more a student brings a weapon to school with a, you know, they either would say they were afraid or they're upset about something. They aren't really rational in what they're doing. That's the only incident I recall. I know in the last 3 years we have intervened with 2 kids who brought loaded weapons on campus. In both cases, they were apprehended without incident. In one case, the student had actually stolen out of a vehicle about 3 blocks away from the school. Within 20 minutes of being on campus, he was in handcuffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds familiar, that
one.
Okay, so what about security guards, metal detectors? Are these options that can work?
Yeah. Well, you know, it really comes down to balancing the freedoms that we have in America. We have a lot of freedoms, and our responsibilities, our rights to live freely, but also to be safe. And I think that when people choose to follow and respect all those, we're fine. It's when people are in distress, and usually someone knows they're in distress, then what are the community supports we have where we can intervene where people are under distress? In many cases, it's a change in behavior in a young person or even a person who's not our student. Many times, it's someone is aware that something's going on and they just don't know who to talk to. Mm-hmm. And so it's about knowing where to go when you have a loved one who seems to be under distress and getting them help.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with Phil in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Medford School Superintendent Phil Long. Phil, right before we went to break, we were talking about people getting help. Yeah. Where can they get help?
Well, many people are sort of disconnected from that. So I would say, if nothing else, approach a teacher, an administrator, one of our staff, if there's a concern, and we will help you find the resources. If you know a counselor, if you're associated with a church, talk to a pastor. But the bottom line is don't hesitate if you have a concern. Little things get big really quickly when people are under distress, and that's the best way to keep something like this happening, is that we help people get the help they need.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you have a couple papers here. Yeah. What resources are available to parents?
Well, you know, we actually got a flyer today from the Children's Advocacy Center around helping children cope after a shooting. Now, today we didn't have a shooting in our district. That isn't what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a different type of issue, and we chose not to discuss this at school because it was not something that directly impacted kids that we needed to intervene on, but what we wanted parents to be able to process it at home. But I think it comes down to making sure that we're watching for changes in our students' behavior going forward, and that's really what I directed the staff today. Safety is our first priority, not just of our students, but of anyone who's in our building. And so I would go to the second part. If we were to have an incident and there's a lockdown, don't come to our school. It's a police scene. They're in charge. They're not going to let you in. And in fact, if there's an assailant and they're out in the community, you may actually put yourself in harm's way, and your child needs you. So we have protocols where if we have to evacuate kids or gather them, we then notify at that point, and we have them in a safe place, and we will contact parents directly to let them know where they can get their child.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now as an educator, a lifelong educator, a parent, what goes through your mind when you see this? You
know, the decision to have a child is the decision to have your heart walking around outside your body. So I think for every one of us, the first thing we go is we think of our own kids, and then we think about what we would want someone to do for our kid. That's where our staff is at. These are our community's children. When they're entrusted to us, we're going to look out for them, and we have a lot of protocols in place to keep them really secure. but we cannot protect them when people go off, offline and do bizarre things. But we can control how we respond, and that's what our training is about. Keep a calm head, a cool head, and remember the focus of getting kids safe. You go through the practice routines and procedures, and we've been blessed so far not to lose a student.
Phil, thank you so much for being here. I wish we had more time.
Okay.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.